All right.
Oh.
First one, Ryer. Just to match each situation to one of the equations. What'd you get for A? It's funny how that happened.
I'll read one. So, for A, I got number 3.
Number 3, we all okay with that one?
Yeah.
That's what I got there too. How about B, Lauren? 4. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Yep. C, Molly? 1, we all agree with that? And then that leaves 2 for D there. That's what you should have got. All right. 2, we set up. It's starting at noon. The temperature drops steadily at a rate of 0.8 degrees Celsius every hour. And then we had to write equations and solve for each of these situations. It said write and solve an equation. So we set this one up. And if you divided, Trey, what would you get there?
I forgot my iPad. I didn't grab it.
Go ahead. Go quick.
I think I know what it is.
All right.
I think I know what it is.
What'd you get, Jackson?
5 hours and 30 minutes.
5.5 hours is what I got there too. So 5.5 hours or 5 hours and 30 minutes would be good for H, right? We divide both sides by negative 0.8 there to solve for H. All right, then B. What's that?
I said I see.
That's good that you see. B, how would we set up our equation on that one? Jada, did you get an equation on this one?
I think it's P minus 4.4 equals negative 2.5.
That would be right. And then how would we solve this? What's our next step in solving this? Right?
4.4 plus 2.5,
We add 4.4 to both sides there.
which is 6.9.
Well, this is negative,
Or negative.
so it's not going to
No,
be
it's
6.9.
not. Never mind.
You should get what, dearly? It's negative. Matt, what'd you get?
1.9 degrees Celsius.
1.9 degrees Celsius should be your answer,
That's
for
what
B.
we meant.
obviously. All right. On 3, we were looking to make 10 cups. So I think if you add all these cups, it was 2 1/4. Does that sound right? 2 1/4 cups. And then we had to take 10 divided by 2 1/4 to find our ratio. And I think that came out to 40/9. Or am I skipping one? Anybody get 40/9 here? I think that's what you're supposed to get. To figure out how to go from 2 1/4 to 10. Matt?
I got 4.
Okay. Is that what we all got is 4? No. What do we get, Jada?
I got 40/9.
Okay. Did we all get 40/9? I think that's what you're supposed to get here. All right, so maybe just check your math again there. And so then for our ratios, how much of each ingredient, how many raisins would we need? Italy?
30/9.
30/9. Or that's what? Simplified 3 1/3 cups, right? And then how many cups of peanuts? And just run through all of them, Dieterly?
Cups of peanuts.
Yep.
40/9.
40/9 there. Which would be 3 4/9. And then we have chocolate chips left.
20/9.
20/9 or 2 2/9. All right, so if we add them up here, we get 10 cups. You have a question?
For the peanuts, wouldn't it be 4 4/9?
Yeah. Good catch. All right, so if we add up here, we'll get to 10, which is what we were looking for. So that's how you can check if those are right. So do we have any questions on those? Or are we okay with that one? Good. All right, 4, we just had to find the value of each expression. So we were just evaluating there. Dakota, what'd you get for A? 2. Abby, B?
1.
All right. Remember, we can put a plus sign in here. So if we have -5 plus -6, then what would we get? -11, right? All right. Cruz, you got C? Negative 25 there. We see a negative next to a subtraction, Molly.
43.
Right, we add those, we get 43. Subtracting a negative, we add. And the last one. Got it, Jackson?
1.5.
Negative 1.5 is what you should have got there. All right, 5, I just wanted us to label each of these markings on the number line again. Parker, you want to take us through this one?
First one I got negative 75, negative 60, negative 45, negative 15, 15, 30.
That looks good to me. Going by 15s there. And then the last one on the back page, Parker. It said Kieran drinks 6.4 ounces of milk each morning. How many days does it take him to finish a 32-ounce container of milk? All right. We said we were going to divide because we had to write and solve an equation here. So what would our equation look like on that one if you were to set up an equation? Jackson?
I wrote down 6.4 times 5.
All right. I think you're kind of jumbling these two together here if we were just writing the equation. What would the equation look like on A? Matt?
32 divided by x equals 6.4.
That could work. Eventually we'll get there. But we're not going to divide by x. We divide by 6.4, right? So if you have 6.4 times x because he drinks 6.4 ounces of milk, so x would be our number of days. So 6.4 times our number of days to get to our full container of milk. And then to solve this, we would divide both sides by 6.4. And then like Jackson said, you should get 5 there. It should take him 5 days. So then B says, what does the variable represent? I already kind of said it, Cruz. The number of days. All right, any questions there? All right, the 16 warm-up is up. If you guys want to do that, and then we can get into the stock market lesson.
Does every day include Saturday and Sunday?
It's every day.
What do you think?
It says a week. What if you take 7 days?
Every day of the week that ends in one.
I don't think there's a Friday after.
Oh,
For this one, it's in the Thursday's only during the week.
I got it right. Let's go. They all are from Sunday. No, really? I had no idea. Did I ask you? Yes.
Including.
You did ask for my opinion, even though I didn't hear you ask. You got it, Ted?
It's not letting me.
Oh, it's just great.
Yes. The attempt took less than a minute. Less than she did.
Did I think
Took
you did.
exactly 1 minute. This attempt took less than a minute. You took.
iPad's down when you're done, please. Right, you still working?
That was really hard. That was easy.
All right. Anybody still working? All right. We can move on then. All right. We're on the stock market. I've already got answers written down, so I'm just going to write the answers and work over here for this first page. But number one says Lynn deposited $300 in a savings account that has a 2% interest rate per year. How much is in her account after 1 year? How would we figure out how much was in her account after 1 year? If there's a 2% interest rate. Do you know?
Oh, you figure out what 1% is?
All right. You could do that and then times it by 2 because it's 2%.
Or divide it by 100.
Well, we're looking for 2%, right? The question says has an interest of 2%. So she started with $300 in there. And if we're looking for 2%, what would we multiply by? 0.02. So what's 1% of 300? What is it? 3. Since we're looking for 2%, we can just take that times 2. So how much interest did she make in that first year? $6. So after 1 year, we're at $306. Or this would be $6. And then year 1 would be 306. All right, now the second year, it's going to be a little bit trickier. What do we have to start with this time? Matt? Just start with 306 because that's what's in our account after 1 year, right? So now again, we're going to take that times 0.02. You guys want to multiply that out? See how much she made in that second year? Got it, Jackson?
Isn't it 0.
It's going to be bigger than 0. Leroy, you got an answer? Or you just stretching? Not quite, Matt. $6.12 is what will be in there after the second year. So then how much will she have in her bank account after year 2? Matt? $312.12 will be in there after 2 years. All right, so if we're doing that kind of interest problem with multiple years, make sure we start with the year-end total and not just the first number it gives us there, all right? 2 says Diego wants to sell his bike. It cost $150 when he bought it, but it has been depreciated by 15%. How much should he sell it for? How are we going to figure that out? Leroy?
Do you take 1.15 or divided by, or no, 6 or I don't know.
All right. I think you're on the right track, Jackson.
150 divided by
Not divided. All right, we could do it one of 2 ways. Jada, do you got one?
150 times 0.15.
All right, we could do it this way to figure out how much value it lost, and then we'd have to subtract from 150, right? But is there a little more efficient way where we could just get our answer after one step? Well, what's 100% minus 15%? 85%. So if we multiply by 85, we'll just figure out that new price right away, right? Instead of having to multiply and then subtract. So why don't you guys try this here? 150 times 0.85. That'll tell us what Diego should sell his bike for. All right, got it? Not quite. Matt?
120 bucks.
A little more than that still. Jackson?
$127.50.
Yep. $127.50.
Is it times 5?
0.85.
Oh,
That's an 8.
okay.
Alright?
I got like 67.
Alright. Maybe this is a little clearer then.
I got
So 85% of 150 would be $127.50, alright? So now on the bottom there it says, it gives you this table, and it just says complete it. So here in this first one it gives us, this is our value on day 1 of dollars. So this is the value of our stock on day 1. This is how much each stock is worth, and here's day 2. And then the third column gives us the change, so how much we went up or down is our third column. And then this is change in values of a percent, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So now, the second row, Ryer, what are we missing? And what is that number? That's the value on day 1. Alright, so how would we figure out, we have our value on day 2 and we have our change. How would we figure out our value on day 1? Did we?
When you start the 114.63 by 2.15.
What operation did you say?
Well, $114.33.
Yep.
Subtract $2.
Subtract is right. Just want to make sure. So 114.03 minus $2.43 will tell us that number right there. All right. So once you got an answer there, let me know. Got it, Jackson?
111.60.
111.6. So $111.60. All right. So now, how would we figure out our change in values for the oil corporation? Carson?
Just subtract and you'll get $1.
26.14 minus 25.14, and Carson said $1 there. All right. So we're just trying to find our change or our day 1 value there. That's good enough for that table. All right. Let's go to the next page. Still looking at something? Went down $1, so it'd be negative. Good catch, Mr. Milbrandt.
That's what
I
you-
get the day off, right?
Well,
Oh.
All right.
Really good, you get Monday off too.
actually,
Okay, no, be quiet.
All right. So now I'm skipping to 17.3, and it gives us the price of one stock in dollars, and then it gives us the number of shares. So this is the price for one share, and this is how many shares we bought. So how would we figure out the total value? Multiply it, Trey says. All right, so why don't you guys multiply these two numbers across here and see what we come up with.
Congratulations on the cancer.
I got 2 passes. I caught like both, yeah.
I was
I think I caught more than you, but I never running back.
No.
Anybody got an answer on this first one yet?
Almost.
Yeah.
Getting there? Trey, you got it?
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see.
Not very confident in this now, but 100. Wait, no. 10,019. Wait, that is
Close. Parker, you got it?
I got 10,495.
It's closer. Carson?
10,562.50.
Closer. Little high now, Matt.
Oh, I got it.
I didn't finish.
$10,559.50.
And 50 cents is what you should have got. Alright. Alright. $10,559.50 is what you should get in that one.
What is it? 10,500.
Yep, that is right.
I was over.
Alright.
10,500.
Yeah.
So how about you three and Trey do the airline company? So you four here. Everyone else in these two rows do the film company, and then the rest of you do the sports clothing company.
Wait, who's it? Our on forward trip?
Yep. Work on your own though. Work on your own.
And we're doing what?
You guys got the airline company.
Here?
We have an email.
Nope.
Can we just do the sports?
Nope, airline.
Just think how much smarter we would be.
Same.
Trey, you got the airline company?
Maybe.
Let's see.
I kinda messed up, but maybe 300, wait, I can't talk. $3,605.58.
That is right. $3,605.58 is the airline
Nice
company.
job, Trey.
Yeah, I got it too.
Good job, Jackson.
I
All right.
wrote the wrong number.
Film company.
I got it right.
Matt?
Yes.
$938.25.
Off just a little bit there. Anybody get something different?
I got 8.
Wait, what was it again?
Airline is up there. Are we still working on the film company?
You want me to have mine?
All right, I like 12.9 so far. That was a good start.
I'll divide it. Because I'm so small.
You got this one or the next one? All right, what'd you get on the sports clothing company?
5,896.
96. All right,
By a long.
film company. Are we still working?
Film company.
Then say it.
I had time to finish mine and then do film company.
Then what is it, Ryan?
7.
Nope.
I know it.
I got 12,938.25.
Close.
Oh. 7.7.
Nope.
He should be.
I just got done.
12,000.
Congratulating
Math
you, Mr.
right.
Jones.
I got 12,973.25.
53 and a quarter is what you should get.
Woo! Got it.
$12,953.25
I was close.
on that one. All right.
You let me.
Nice job, Mr. Jones.
We're done.
So we're not gonna finish that, but what we are gonna do is group up and do a little project. All right? I'm showing the price already. All right. Listen up, guys, so we know how to do it.
Show them an example.
Oh, that's the right size. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Don't write on these, first of all. You guys listening? Don't write on these sheets. All right. You and your partner are gonna get $250, and you have to buy. You wanna say 5? You have to buy 5 different stocks. So you can get this. You can buy, if you want to buy 10 of these, that's 20. 6 of these, 3 and 1 and 1. However, you have to get as close as you can to $250. All right. Don't flip it over.
I have a question.
Pick your 5. Spend your money. Make sure you're not over. And then once I double check that you're not over in your stocks, then we're gonna figure out how much you made or lost. All right.
I have a question.
What's your question?
Can I use that 250 and my 250 to buy this?
Nope.
5?
All right.
How does it feel? Yeah.
At least
the PlayStation and not
Alright.
the Xbox?
You can use calculators here too once we get going.
PlayStation's louder than
Give
yeah.
them one example.
$250.
Alright.
Xbox is louder than
All right, so pick a stock. Somebody.
Oh, we already did
Clothing
one.
company too.
One person.
7.
Pizza company.
Mr. Scott, who do you want to?
Trey, you said pizza company?
Yeah, I know.
7.
Alright, pizza company. $68 a share.
Holy, that's pretty
That's
big.
a lot of money.
68?
Peanut
All right, so you have to decide how many stocks you're gonna buy.
10.
25.
We have
Okay, well, you
$250.
You have $250 to spend.
355.
Choose
They're $68 a piece.
Three.
Seems reasonable.
Okay? So what's 68 times 3?
Can I pull up the
I got this.
Yes, you can use a calculator on that.
71. Wait, 304.
200.
71. 204. 71.
Now we have $46
You
left.
only have
Lauren.
$46 and you gotta buy 5 items, 5 different stocks.
That's fine.
Lauren,
Can we do the teddy bear company?
Do whatever one you want.
we're gonna run out of money real quick.
What about you?
Alright.
Get in your groups. I'll hand out the sheets. Then Mr. Scott will be
Do you
around.
have a calculator, do you?
What's it?
No,
Jeff, Jeff,
Let's buy the Sony company.
I went to town.
Everything with my best friend.
How would you have to make in-app purchases for a calculator?
Can I read it?
I could care less about the diet. Yeah. Pull up JT's desk.
Do not. Ready?
I hate to get things over that fast. Like that man.
Do not flip over. Do not flip over. Flat.
$48.
No, you don't have to start with that.
This is not expensive.
Wait, I'm saying.
We can't see it.
This is not expensive. No stocks are-
If you can see one and I want mine.
Yeah.
Bookstore company.
Yeah, so that's why we have really next
Give them a jolt.
So that one stock. In the future, that price could be up. The most expensive thing is the active launch is one for it now. So that right now.
Wait, so because the money for the
You gotta get as close to 250 as possible. You can probably even stop.
$1.5.
Write them out. Write them out. Write them out.